everyone. I hope all is well. As always, I'm going to be going over the S&P 500 E-mini futures for today, Thursday, July 17th. Before I get started, as always, shout out Al Brooks. His course will be down below, and a huge shout out to my sensei, Troy Hoyel. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be trading at all. So huge shout out to him. I'm going to try to make today's video pretty quick. I'm just going to go through the price action of today and the trades that I took. So we start off today with a very good 5-bar micro channel up with good strength factors. You have tick gaps, micro gaps. Bar 3 closes with very strong IBS. Bar 4 closes with 90% IBS or higher. One thing that I didn't really think about, there's a couple of things, and I'll go over this, but I ended up buying the close of 6. But first of all, we're in a very tight bull channel since yesterday, and you could say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, or this is probably a fourth or even a third leg in this channel up. And then also going into the Globex, the aftermarket hours, you have this big rip up and a pullback, and then this could be the second leg. So a lot of stuff context-wise that wasn't the best. And I kind of knew that. I kind of had it in the back of my head that this could be a losing trade, but I just thought that with small risk, the reward outweighed the risk. But the biggest place where I went wrong is that I bought the close of 6, believing that it was the pullback and the 15-minute chart. And the 15-minute chart, where am I at today? Sorry about that. Lost track of where I was. Here we go. And I thought the 15-minute chart needed a second leg, and also the 5-minute chart needed a second leg, and I thought 6 was the pullback, but the reality is that 6 was still, about 7 points away from the EMA. And as you can see, kind of every single one of these pushes from before, even going back to this big push from yesterday, it tests the EMA and then it gets its second leg. And again, this gets this good push 40 through 45, and it tests the EMA again before going up higher. So I should have kind of realized these things, and it's far away from the EMA. It's probably going to try to at least test the EMA before getting its second leg. So I ended up losing 5 points on bar 11. One more thing I'll say on this trade, and then I'll move on, is that the market gave me all these times to get out. It was basically yelling in my face, get out, up a little bit, get out, break even on bars 8 and 9. They're doji bars. It's clear that it isn't going a whole lot higher. It's kind of losing momentum. It's probably going to need to test the EMA before getting a second leg. And if I would have just taken that, or even gotten out after the close of 9, and I was just looking at, what the reality is, 9 is going to get somewhat of a second leg down to the EMA. I could have just gotten out for, down 3 points, or if I would have just listened to the market and gotten out on 9, I could have gotten out up 3.5 points, 3.75 points. So just an easy mistake there. But just a learning lesson. So I lost 5 points there, and as you can see, I kind of drew out this broad. Like I said, there's a big bull channel starting all the way from yesterday that I wanted to just draw out because I thought it would probably try to test the bottom of the channel and bounce back. So kind of does that, and after a complicated pullback, testing the EMA a couple of times, this is the second bar on the 15-minute chart. Kind of this bull channel is a second leg for this initial rip up of the day. And I ended up seeing, a great micro gap, great strong close on 16. It's tested the EMA, it's rejected it. It's probably going to get the second leg up now. So I bought this pullback failure on 18. Unfortunately, I put my stop loss or my take profit at just the break even of what I lost on this trade. And walked away from my computer for a little bit because I had something else I had to work on. And I think after I would have seen the close of 19 and then how powerful 20 was going, I would have been able to move this up thinking that, it was going to have a second leg and could have made at least about 15 points on that trade. But, I'm fine. I took 5. I was break even on the day, kind of got a refresh and was able to maybe find and look for some different trades. And then you can kind of see the pattern here. You get a couple bars up, pullback, a couple strong bars up, pullback, a couple strong bars up, pullback, a couple. It kind of is a varied channel. And if I would have recognized this pattern, I could have probably bought any pullback to make money because it was just clearly respecting the channel, clearly ripping back up, clearly getting a second symmetrical leg to this first one. But I just didn't feel like there was any times that I felt like were a good trade to get in on. And then, of course, it breaks out of this channel and goes sideways to up for a little bit, kind of returning to the channel. We're trying to return to that kind of the top of the range, create a new high on 58, 59, and 60. And you can see on 58, 59, and 60, you have really good 3-bar micro channel. You have 58 closing on its high, 59 closing on its high with a great micro gap, barely any small wick, and even 60, little loss in momentum, but closing near its high. And the reason that this trade freaked me out a little bit is because I thought this may be a second leg up. So I was trading for a third leg. If you looked at kind of 48 through 54, 55 as one leg, pullback, second leg, near the top of this range, creating a new high. So I saw 61 as a pullback failure, and I thought there was some good room for this to make a measured move up. This was about 7.5 points, so I thought it would make some sort of a measured move up to about 6 points. That's all I was going for. Kind of sat through 62 and 63, just kind of scared that this was running out of steam, kind of reminiscent of 8 and 9 earlier in the day. 64 was a really strong bar, so I thought that my hypothesis was complete. But after 65, I just didn't like the doji bar in 65. Thought it might try to test the EMA again before maybe continuing this pattern. So I got out up about a point on 65, and clearly, as you can see on 67, my full take profit gets hit, does a measured move of 6.5 points. So this was a trade that I missed, but I was okay with it. I was a little sketched out. I was trying to trade a third leg, and a lot of times that won't work. So yeah, a good kind of broad bull channeling day up all today. Kind of, if you went long on any bear bar, you would have made money today. I expect some trading range and maybe some sort of a flush down in the next coming days or weeks, or a trading range probably tomorrow, and then probably trying to fill some of these micro gaps at some point. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Quick video today. Shout out to Albrecht, shout out Troy H. Have a great rest of your day. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.